Hello, it's Tim Esterdahl, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. I'm here on a really rainy and cold and nasty day in western Nebraska, but I have a really nice little toy over there. Not really toy, vehicle. SUV, the 2018 Ford Expedition. Let's go ahead and flip the camera around. I'm going to grin and bear it as I get rained on a little bit. I'd say it was cold out here because it's really cold. And talk to you about the exterior, and then I'm going to get clean the interior up, and I'll show you that another day. Maybe when it's warmer. Alright, let's talk to you about this Expedition. So this is the Platinum version. It is the highest trim level that Ford offers in this SUV. It does have 3 rows inside. It's really kind of a cool look on the front end. I like the way the chrome matches with the chrome down by the fog lamps. I like the chrome over there as far as along the edge. The air dam, I don't know. I can take or leave that. I mean, it's a big SUV. You know, what do you expect? I don't really need a huge amount of fuel economy. And so the Platinum version, I got a little dusty and dirty. We've been out hunting with it. And then the weather changed. So you can see some raindrops on the hood. Who else gives you reviews of raindrops on the hood? Nobody. This channel does. So we got chrome. I do like the nice chrome line that goes along the edge. A lot of times manufacturers pick up that third window. They don't really tie it in. They do chrome and chrome. And then the third window gets forgotten. This is like all the windows are tied in together. It's really nice how they did that. We have the big tires. They are Dynapro 22-inch tires with the big Ford rim on there. Kind of want a little bit more to that, I guess. But hey, opinions are like those things that we talk about a lot. All right, the back end, did get it dirty. I apologize for that. Again, out hunting. It's a really good looking SUV in my opinion. I just like how the styling is carried all the way through. It's really kind of a big, bold style. They don't care. They're not trying to make it look smaller. But it has a really nice, clean rear end. Whew. All right, that's it. I'm going to go hop in. It's cold out here. And maybe tomorrow will be better. The forecast is not looking that way. So I'm going to clean it out and maybe drive around where it's maybe a little warm inside. I'll show you the heated seats. All right, so I'm inside the Ford Expedition. It finally warmed up a little bit. I got a little sunshine. I cleaned it out. It's looking slightly used from my kids destroying it. Before I get to the interior, I want to talk about something that's coming on the channel quite a bit, is talking about the lower trim levels. So this is something that comes up where it's like you only review the high trim level vehicles. And it's true, you know, but that's a byproduct of what vehicles I get. And so I wanted to discuss today what lower trim level looks like, and so I did a bunch of homework and talk to you about the price differences here before I get into this Platinum. So this is the Platinum version, top trim level. I have the trim levels on this sheet of paper. So this comes in XLT, Limited, and Platinum. They come in Max versions as well. Max is the additional a foot longer in the back, 16.9 inches of cubic cargo room back there. Additional on top of already. It's pretty big back there. I'm not going to go ahead and hop back too much, but the rear seats slide and go forward. You grab the handle, it slides forward, it actually folds forward. So if you can get in the rear seats easily, it's like for kids. If you have even if it's a car seat in there, the booster seat rolls forward. And it comes in the third row. I got power lift third row on both sides. You can do up, down. You can do both. It's a 60-40 split, or excuse me, 80-20 split. So there's one seat extra. No, 60-40. Sorry, I had it right first time. 60-40, so there's one seat extra here and one group set and then another set, another single next to it. And so that's what's going on back there. When I got the seats down, which I do currently, I got a lot of room back there. I actually went hunting with this and put my rifle back there long ways, not sideways. And sideways, when it goes up, there's an additional storage section where you can put a storage up there and have tiered storage, 2-tiered storage. And golf clubs sit in there pretty well. But anyways, let's get back to the pricing. So this version starts at $73,030. So $73,030. So that's a lot. You're like, oh my God, that's a lot. It's a big Platinum. But the XLT starts at $51,790. So what are we talking about there? We're talking about the base trim is XLT, and we're basically talking about taking stuff away. This is, I think, the biggest way I can explain to you the differences and show you the differences is by just removing content. So let's start with standard features. Standard features is a 311 non-limited slip rear axle. That's for the 4x2, the two-wheel drive, the XLT Unlimited. The 331 rear axles and two-wheel drive XLT Max. So they all have 12-volt power points. There's 4 of them. Air conditioning, rear auxiliary controls are standard. Audio AM/FM stereo single CD player is standard. It's got the MP3 capability, 6 speakers, just a standard sound system. The Class 4 trailer hitch, it's got the easy fill capless fuel filter. So when you can tap the door, open it, and it's a capless fuel filler. I can show that. I think I showed that exterior. Power assist, electric power assist, comes standard with a 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 engine. That's a discussion we'll talk about in a minute. 400 horsepower, 480 foot-pounds of torque in that engine. Halogen headlamps, keyless entry, push-button start is standard. Auto-dimming rearview mirror standard. Power heated side mirrors are standard. Power windows and door locks are standard. Rear-wheel drive, standard. Rotary shift dial, I'll show you that in a minute. That's standard. Seats. So this is where things get a little different. So in the XLT version, you have a bench seat back there. You have a middle row bench seat. In the Platinum version, you have the buckets, and you have the walkthrough area. So there's one of your big differences there. Sync is standard in XLT. Sync 3, which is more the, it's got an 8-inch screen, LCD screen, just more smart charging ports, and telescoping steering column is standard in the Limited Platinum. It's available on XLT as a package. But I found a picture on Ford.com, which I'll put up here in the video, and you can see the little tiny screen versus the bigger screen. So there's part of your price difference. It's a 10-speed transmission. Safety belts are standard. That's pretty standard these days. Dual-stage front seat side airbags. 3-row safety canopy system. Side curtain airbags. There's not much else. 4-disc analog brakes. Rear-view camera with washer. You know, the secure code. It's got the keyless entry code on the door. So you can put your code in, open the door, and trailer sway control. So that is all standard. Now, let's talk the difference. So the difference right now is about $22,000. That's about the difference between the XLT and the Platinum. They go about $10,000. XLT is $51,000, Limited $62,000, Platinum $73,000. So the available options. 373 limited slip rear axle. So it's a stronger rear axle as you move up, which means you'll be better for towing. You can tow up to 9,300 pounds as you go up into the stronger rear axle. The less rear axle, you're not going to tow as much. It's kind of, I don't know, either or. Adaptive cruise control with stop and go. So this has got standard cruise control, and then it's got adaptive cruise control. You can press it, set a distance in front of you, and it will stop and go along with that traffic in front of you. More pleasurable to drive. Blind spot information system. Blind spot monitors, so those are in the mirrors. You can see there's little cars, symbols in the mirrors. It tells you if there's somebody in your blind spot. That is optional. 4-wheel drive is optional, clearly. Dual headrest. So these got headrests, entertainment DVD players back here behind the headrest. That's standard, or that's optional. Active park assist system with side parking sensors, so more parking sensors. The foot-activated liftgate, if you're going to use hands-free, you can just take your foot, like you see in the commercials, it opens up. That's optional. Lane keeping system's optional. This big panoramic moonroof that I have closed right now is optional. Running boards, optional. Remote start system, optional. The second row seats, talked about that. Voice-activated touchscreen with tip and slide feature navigation system, so you dip and slide navigation with your fingers, optional. And 22-inch polished aluminum wheels are optional. Then standard in XLT is 18-inch. So just imagine the XLT, smaller tires, no running boards, a lot less features, a lot less of the advanced safety features, smaller screen, bench seat. That's kind of what you got. The interior is black with not as sharp a chrome on the coverings for the vents. I found a little picture like on Ford.com. I'll show you on this video. So there you go. There are the options and the standards for this vehicle, and so that's what you're going to get for $73,000. Now this one I'm in right now today, we'll get our handy dandy sheet, has some options. It's got even more options. So it's got this is the Platinum version. It's got the optional leather trim buckets. So those buckets are $740. This has got the heavy duty trailer towing package. That's $1575. It's got the my phone was linked to it. Cargo mat, reversible cargo mat, and a rear seat entertainment system. That rear seat entertainment system in the back of that dress is $1995. So all the options bring it to $80,520. That's with a $1,295 destination fee. So really, I started at $76,175, which is not. Well, yeah, this is a four-wheel drive version. So the four-wheel drive version starts at $76,175. This is two-wheel drive, starts at $73,000. So, yeah, I'm about in that range of what they've at for the price of this. So yeah, there are all your options and prices and differences. So hope that satisfies you. Let's go ahead and do the interior walk around, and I'll show you the interior. And then here in a little bit, we'll go for a drive. Okay, let's start with the interior of this Platinum. We have some nice stitching here in the doors. We have the controls back over here. The lock and unlock are kind of tough to reach, just the way this is curved. Again, in an XLT version, you'll just have hard plastic here, or you won't have the nice stitching here. Over here, we have the control to open the rear tailgate. I'm trying to get a little closer. It's a little tight in here for the driver, I have to say. Light controls, the emergency brake. I got adjustable pedals, and I have the rear seat pull down. All right, I think that's rear seat pull down. Yeah, rear seat pull down. All right, so then I have on the stock, I'm gonna have my wiper controls. I have my infotainment screen here. Driver information control, that's what they call it. And you can see I'm low on gas. So I've been driving it around quite a bit. So I have different screens, gauges, tire pressures, digital speedometers, towing, power distribution for off-road mode, and all my safety features in there. I did move and put the turbo gauge up here. You can move that around. Sometimes it says trans temperature. I like turbo. I like to see how much I'm into the turbo boost or turbocharger. I do have the steering wheel controls here, and I do have some other Bluetooth controls there as well. Again, I have some nice chrome styling here. It's kind of like it's like a matted chrome, really nice finish, and they have a shiny chrome here. So if you had the XLT, you wouldn't get this finish. You just get a basic kind of gray finish here, gray on black. I do have my larger infotainment screen. This is 8 inches, and I do have traction control off. I have downhill assist, and I have lane departure assist. This is auto start stop off. So this will turn the engine on and off as far as at stop signs. So if you pull up to a stop sign, the engine will turn off to save fuel, and then when you touch the gas, it starts right back up. You can disable that. And then I do have some camera modes. That's what's nice about this. With the larger screen, you get this nice camera mode, and you're able to flip through and see different cameras. And so if you're going to back up, it's really good. And this is such a large vehicle. If I put it in reverse, you can see the lines behind me, the trailing lines. And as I turn the steering wheel, so I'm doing this one-handed, you can see that white line right there, and it moves. And so it gives you an indication of where you're turning. And then that'll turn on the parking brakes as well, or parking assist. So it'll beep at you if you get too close to anything. So I'll put it back in park. Audio, climate, phone, have different apps as well. This is a Sync 3 system. Oh, it's telling me I gotta use. So Sync 3, different apps. And then I have my big controls for volume, tuning. One thing I've noticed on these is, if I can get it in the tuning angle. You see my finger? These could just be a little bit bigger, like wider. Like they're nice and big. I like how the size of them, but I can't get my full finger on there, and so I got to do this scrunched up finger technique, which kind of stinks. Control. Sorry, I got the seats on, the steering wheel on because it's cold, and cooled seats as well. Down here, I left my cord in here, but so this will close and keep that all covered up nicely. It's got a nice wood grain kind of finish to it. And then when you open it up, I got the USBs here. This is the Qi charging system, wireless charging. And then down here, I got a little cubby hole for some change and such. I will say, I like it, but it's really hard to use. It's hard to get in there, and it's hard to get your phone on there. We had multiple phones while we were out hunting, charging, and we ended up stacking up the phones, and then I got changed on here. I remember to get out. It's a little awkward, just the angle of it. I do have, moving on, I got cup holders. I have the push button 4-wheel drive, which I talked about. I do have the rotary dial shifter, and I press the manual button and I can change the gears how I want to. This is parking controls there. And here is the big, ginormously deep. I'll leave this in. You can see how far my hand is down there, as far as center console for storage. I will say, what's interesting about these is they've gotten so big these days is that I've heard some complaints from people that if you put a lot of stuff in here, you never get back out because it just builds and builds and builds and then builds to the top. So I'm hearing something. It's kind of an interesting take on that. Over here, we have the finish off with the glove boxes. I do have a dual glove box. Opens up here. It does have quite a bit of space in there. Let me, I'll take my garage door opener as a visual, and you can see how much room I have there. Again, you won't have this kind of chrome look. You won't have this stitching in an XLT base trim vehicle. And there is my glove box. And that's that door over there. I do have a little storage spot here, which we use quite a bit. And this is a B&O. It's the radio. It's the higher grade speaker system, I should say. Panoramic moonroof, which you can see there, which I should open. There, I'll open it. What's nice is it goes all the way to the back, and so the rear seats really get a lot more light back there. They're not so cavernous and dark. Let me hop back there real fast. And, well, I don't know if I can show you right here. Yeah, I just want to show you that's DVD players. And then I'll take my phone very carefully, and I'll turn and I'll show you that's the HVAC system. And I have a couple drink holders here as well. So I think overall I like the interior. It's a little tight, like I said, but the steering wheel, the way it's set up, could just be my setup. Maybe I need to improve that a little bit differently, set up a little bit differently. But it's not quite as wide as I'd like it to be. I think it'd be a little more room in here, and the front seat would be nice. This is one of the largest rear seat rooms in class, biggest in class, second row and third row. And yeah, the sync system works okay. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it does work pretty well. I don't have any complaints. It's just not my favorite. And I don't really have any complaints overall on the vehicle. The build quality is pretty good. We did notice there was a little bit of noise when we were off-roading with the grab handles and the second top tier glove box. There was a little creaking, but I didn't hear it the second day. The first day we heard it, and then couldn't really replicate that, so it's kind of a weird thing. Something to keep in mind, though, if you're going to do a lot of off-roading in this, you want to check those things out. But yeah, other than that, no big concerns. It's a nice SUV, so let's go for a drive, and I'll tell you more about it. Okay, let's go ahead and go for a drive in this 2018 Ford Expedition. Again, it's standard 10-speed transmission and standard the 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine. So I'm going to throw it in reverse with my little dial shifter, which is kind of nice. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of extra room in the... I got to change my mirror. Don't have a whole lot of extra room in the interior for any sort of column shifter. I don't have the shifter here on the middle. On the floor shifter, I guess is what we're calling these things. Console shifter. I can't ever remember console shifter. I don't know. What I like about this 3.5-liter V6 EcoBoost is it's a lot of fun to drive. Whoa, yeah. Really, for this size of vehicle, it's a really good time. You really get on the throttle, and you can have lots of power. It feels really powerful. I think that's part of the big selling feature for this Ford Expedition versus the Chevy Tahoe. So Tahoe clearly is the competition. It's the top of the line, the top of the mountain as far as full-size SUV sales. This rides really well. Again, so I have 22-inch tires. When you go down, you have 18-inch tires. May not have quite the same ride quality in the XLT, but then 22s, really comfortable driving, really comfortable off-roading. I've done some off-roading with it when I went deer hunting with it, and it just climbs over all sorts of stuff. Doesn't have any problems. I do have the push-button 4-wheel drive system in here with a locking rear differential. It's nice. I really don't have any concerns about getting stuck. I think you'd be hard-pressed to challenge yourself to get stuck with this. I was looking at fuel economy. So fuel economy is a big issue with this. So the stat sheet says Should be getting 17 city, 22 highway, 19 combined. That is 1 mile per gallon better than a Tahoe that comes in a V8. Right now, my trip meter says I'm averaging 19.6 average fuel economy, and I'm doing a lot of highway driving and not so much city. But combined, I mean, that's pretty good fuel economy in this size of vehicle, nearly 20 miles per gallon. When you look at the Tahoe that gets 1 mile per gallon less, but comes in a big throaty V8, which is a little bit slower off the line, I think this is more fun to drive, and you get the little bit better fuel economy. However, I haven't towed with this. I know Ford says the EcoBoost tows really well, and I've towed with it in that engine in F-150, and it does tow. You can tow with it. There's no problem there at all. But I just think for towing confidence, I would do the V8 personally. I think the V8's got more power for passing situations. It's got more displacement for mountain climbing, for those kind of things. If I'm not towing that much and I'm towing occasionally, I gotta say, Ford's got the better choice here. I think that the EcoBoost engine is much better in this application, and it's, again, more fun to drive. And don't you want something more fun to drive? Especially when you're hauling all your kids back there, you can kind of do speed racer on them. I don't know, kind of fun. So again, this is the Platinum Edition. It's got all the bells and whistles. The XLT has not as much. I'm a big fan of the bigger screen. I've bought lower level vehicles before, and you're often disappointed over lifetime of ownership on the little smaller screens unless you go ahead and go third party on it. So there's something to keep in mind. You can get this for about $50,000 if you do the XLT and get some discounts, or you can go all in and spend $73,000 or $80,000 I have in this model without incentives. I'm sure there's going to be incentives on this, and get all the bells and whistles. It's up to you. It's up to what you think that you need. Personally, I like all the bells and whistles. No, it's fun. Now, granted, I'm not buying this. I'm just reviewing it. So, hey, for more reviews and questionable content and goofy things I do, make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I put up a lot of funny stuff occasionally and some serious stuff. That's how I do things. And check us out on pickuptrucktalk.com. I promise to update that site occasionally. Actually did a bunch of updates this week. So see that for more news content and more all the home of YouTube. And you actually can subscribe on that website, and you get notified with new posts come up. It's really nice in your email, a little image. It talks about the story. It's what you want to do. Thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road.